What is going on, everybody? Today we are talking about the 5 most annoying things that you have to have, that you have to buy as a filmmaker, as a photographer. These are the things that you have to spend your money on that are not fun, like not your camera, not your lenses, not the flashy fun things to buy. This is the low, the dirty, the grungy, the awful, the pain. You get the gist. Let's start at number 5. So number 5 on the list is cables. Cables are such a pain. They're a pain to carry, they're a pain to buy, they're a pain to use, they're constantly getting tangled. They are not even particularly cheap. They're just one of these 5 things that you have to have that are not, they're not glamorous, they're not fun to buy, but it's just one of those things that you have to have. That is number 5. Coming in at number 4, it's for me and those Apple users out there. Dongles. It's a pain. You have to have, it is the worst, but for those of us who edit on Apple, you gotta have them. It's okay, it's just a pain. I don't want to spend this extra money for a dongle, but it's just yet another one of those things you have to buy. Gotta deal with it. These things are obscenely expensive. Like, real for real. Alrighty, coming in at number 3. We're just popping right on through these things. This one is a real pain. I really do not like this one. Where is it? SD cards. These things are the worst. So expensive. For a 128 gig, like ProRes SD card, it's gonna run you like $40 for a little 1-inch piece of plastic. It hurts, but go ahead and spend the money on them, because don't go skimpy on these things. If you do, they have way higher chance of just conking on you, ruining great footage that you have. It's not worth the risk. It's a pain to spend the $40, but it's a $40 well spent, even though it is incredibly boring. Number 4, fellas. We've made it to number 4. This one was so bad it could have been number 5, but we just got so many bad ones. This one is batteries. This battery right here costs $60. Canon IPE6 batteries cost $60 for a blivin' thing to power your camera. However, it is totally worth it. They last so long. I don't really know actually how long you can film on one battery. They last quite a few hours filming, so they are worth your money. As a pain as they are, it's worth it. Don't buy the off-brand. I mean, you can, but I think it's probably worth it to just go ahead and buy the Canon batteries. Even though they're expensive, you just gotta deal with it. Finally, our last one on the list, the number 1 most annoying thing on this list, probably not ever, but on this list to buy, in my opinion. So expensive, so boring, so necessary. Hard drives. These things are the worst. They are so expensive. Hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and you have to get a fast one so that your computer can actually run. Mistake made. You gotta buy a fast one because your computer is really only as fast as the hard drive you're using, so you have to buy a fast hard drive. So hundreds and hundreds of dollars for a nice big one. Videoing takes a surplus of space. Surplus, isn't that a fun word? Yes, it is. Learn something new every day. I didn't learn that today, but surplus is the word. Surplus of space. So the reason that this thing comes in at number 1 on my list for the most boring and annoying things to buy as a filmmaker / photographer is just because of the price that these giant things cost. It's ridiculous. I don't want to spend $500 just to store my stuff, but you got to do it. It's money well spent. Just as all of these things are, it's not that any of these things are a waste of money. It's just the things you have to buy that aren't the most glamorous. Maybe I'll do the most fun things to buy as a videographer / photographer. That would be kind of fun. I feel like that would be a little bit more positive of a note than the most boring and annoying things. If you don't have all of these things, I would highly recommend adding them to your list of things to get. Just, write them down on that notepad of yours. Get them done. I'll have all these things also linked down below if you want to go add some of these things to your equipment stash, as you should. That wraps it up, though. That is my list of the top 5 most boring and annoying things to buy as a filmmaker / photographer. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining me on this week's video. I upload every Thursdays. If you did not know that, I try to. I upload every Thursdays. Sometimes I procrastinate and it's Friday or Saturday. Try for every Thursday, though. Come back next Thursday for next week's video. I will see you guys next week.